the thing that everybody's talking about. It wasn't even the roster cuts. It was, of course, it had to have something to do with Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so Jimmy ends up back on the squad. Not that he really ever left, but we couldn't trade him. But now he agreed to bring his salary down to $6.5 million. Now he's the backup for Trey, and they've made it very clear that he is the backup. So how do you feel about that? And are you on the ledge like all the other Niner fans and like Niner Twitter?
Whew, man, you coming out the gate with the tough ones. And I must say, that is a sick intro you have, by the way.
Dude, I appreciate it.
No problem. In regards to the Jimmy G situation, I think let's do a little revisionist history. Let's go back to February of this year. I don't think any Niner fan would have thought that Jimmy G would be back on this roster. Mm-hmm. Jimmy G this offseason, basically, he's been present at the facility doing his own throwing program, but he hasn't really been involved with the team. He didn't have a playbook. And as I said before, he was, working out on his own. Shanahan basically said, hey, this guy is the fourth quarterback on the depth chart. And the 49ers had no intention of keeping Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G having the shoulder surgery at the time he had it definitely affected his trade value. What team would want to trade for a player that can't throw a football, at the time that the trading was going on? So the 49ers get Jimmy G to reduce his salary by 2/3. He was scheduled to make about 27. Now he's down to 6.5. With incentives, he can bump that up to about 16. But I think I understand the logic behind the move. Jimmy G is much better than Brock Purdy and Nate Sudfeld. And not only is he better, he has the experience, Shanahan even mentioned, hey, I was ready to go into the season with Trey and Brock Purdy as the backup, as the number 2 quarterback. I don't know about you, Faithful, but I don't think that would be a good idea. It's almost like the blind leading the blind. And I'm glad Jimmy G is on the roster. In Shanahan's tenure with the 49ers, he's only had one season where the quarterback started every game, and that was in 2019. Every other year, it's basically been like, Jimmy G starts the season, he gets hurt. Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard, Trey Lance came in a few games last year. So I think that's something else we need to take into consideration. Hey, we got a reliable backup behind Trey Lance. I just hope that Kyle Shanahan gives Trey Lance a legit opportunity. I don't care if Trey Lance struggles. He should be out there every game if he's healthy. Obviously, if he gets hurt, you put Jimmy in there. But Trey Lance should get a legit shot. And I also understand the other side where 49er fans have Jimmy fatigue, and that's real. The Jimmy fatigue is definitely real, but
I feel it right now. Like
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted Jimmy gone. I just wanted number 10. I appreciate what he did for this team. He made this team relevant, and I know some people say Jimmy's garbage or whatever. Unfortunately, Jimmy did not rise to the occasion when we needed him to at the biggest moments. I don't think there's any denying that, but when Jimmy was healthy and on the roster and under center, hey, we were in contention. 2 NFC championship appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearances. There's no denying that. He has a career winning record. So I totally understand the logic behind the move. It's just unfortunate that there's going to be noise, the outside noise. Oh, Trey Lance threw an incomplete pass. Oh, Trey Lance threw an interception. We need to allow Trey Lance to have the bumps in the road. He's basically a rookie quarterback. Let's be real. He's a rookie quarterback. So allow him to have the bumps in the road without second guessing the decision. And I hope that Trey gets a legit shot.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. And I mean, it really just comes down to this. We allowed Jimmy to take us to 3-5 at the beginning of last season. There's no reason to just panic if Trey comes out the gate a little slow. I don't think that they will. Honestly, I think that we are at the point now to where Kyle knows what he wants, and he's said it over and over again. And I think Kyle is really the one between him and Lynch that you can trust. Because Kyle don't lie. Lynch will lie, but Kyle, if you pay attention to the things that he says, he's not gonna. Everything that he says comes to kind of fruition, even when we don't necessarily agree with it. But I just think that he said all along that this is Trey's team at this point. I mean, I think that Jimmy only comes in if there's an injury,
right?
And which obviously we do not want to see with Trey. He had he had a finger issue and a knee issue last year, and I just always fear that with the running style. But but I think that Trey is. I think it's just going to be a lot different this year, and I think Kyle is prepared to have him back there. I don't think last year he was prepared to even have him he have like a game script for him. So this year I think it's going to be Trey until the wheels fall off, and that's really what it comes out. Jimmy, I think that this is a win-win for the 49ers. I know that a lot of people are looking at this like, we just want Jimmy gone. But I don't think any of us thought that Jimmy would take a pay cut to come back and agree to be the backup.
Right.
I don't think any of us thought that. And
no,
so it was just, I mean, it is what it is. Like when you have an opportunity to have two starters, one agree to be your backup, I think you have to go with that, especially one that knows the system, knows the team, and that we can have confidence that at least he knows the offense. He can run the offense. Right. So we might not necessarily think that he can guide us there, and that's why we've got Trey there. We're hoping that he has that next level in him, to make those throws that Jimmy just can't make. Now, what we got to see now from Trey is, can he make the throws that Jimmy makes? Yeah. And those little easy ones that he just got to get that. He just got to get that fastball and take it down to a changeup every now and then.
No, absolutely, absolutely. He's got to get polished, and the only way he gets polished is he needs snaps. Like you look at Brock Purdy. I know people were obsessed with Purdy mania, but Purdy, he looked comfortable when he was there. He was making throws, and I think Trey Lance can get there. He's just, Purdy, what started all 4 years at Iowa State. Trey doesn't really sniff the amount of games that Purdy has played. So I think the Trey Lance we'll see from week 1 to week 12 will be totally different. And I think he's going to get, just like anything in every walk of life, the more you do something to the best of your ability, usually the better you'll get at whatever task you're doing. And I think, that holds well with Trey Lance. But I got to say, what's good to Grandizer and Redder. Thank you guys for tuning in to the stream tonight. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to Niner Fanatic Podcast. And also, I would harken back really quick to the schedule. So we have two, let's call it easy games on paper, at Chicago, home against Seattle. Those Seahawks, should be two games that we win, and I think those are layup games for Trey Lance. And I think Kyle Shanahan and Lynch, they should be right on paper. There's no easy game really. You still got, hey, the Bears put their pads on the same way the Niners do. Those guys get paid just like the Niners do. So on paper, it should be an easy game. The 49ers are more talented than Chicago and Seattle, but you still have to go out there and execute the game plan. And the great thing about Trey and the 49ers, he doesn't have to carry this team. He doesn't have to throw the ball 40 to 50 times. We're going to run the ball. We kept 4 running backs plus Juice, so total of 5. We're going to run this ball 30 35 times, maybe even 40 times a game, and Trey can throw 20 to 25 passes, work off play action, and I think that works best for a rookie quarterback. You can go back to Russell Wilson in Seattle. He was handing off the ball a lot. So that's just an example, but I think the offense will work well under Trey, and it's going to be a collaborative effort. It's not going to be Trey doing everything by himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing. Do you think that there's a possibility that he could get traded like mid-season when somebody, because we all know that injuries happen, and it's never fails that a team just all of a sudden needs a quarterback and they're willing to trade assets. Now this is the thing with Jimmy, and I think this is why it's a win-win for the 49ers, is not only did they save the cap space, but now that by keeping him, now at the end of the season, if they let him walk, they get a 3rd round compensatory pick.
Yep.
Now that means that anybody that wants to come and get him got to come off of at least a 3rd round pick. That's the floor.
Right.
And probably more than a 3rd round pick. So it's do you think that anything like that happens? Or do you think that they just roll with Jimmy? having him in the backup.
I would be surprised unless there's like a Sam Bradford trade. I remember, I think the Eagles, I don't know, one of their quarterbacks got hurt, and then they traded for Sam Bradford. They gave up like a first round pick. I mean, if a team offers up a first round pick for Jimmy G, then it's like, hey, like, the Niners, the Niners should do it, right? I think that would make sense. But I think this roster is better with Jimmy G on it. He is one of the best 53 players on this roster. There's no doubt. You know, he's the second best quarterback. I mean, arguably he's the first best quarterback, you know, in terms of his experience and whatnot. So I would be surprised if the Niners traded him. And just like you, I was shocked. I didn't think Jimmy G would accept a pay cut. I mean, I remember doing shows weeks and weeks ago and just trying to play it out. Why would Jimmy G take a pay cut? Making 27 to go down to 6.5. It didn't really make sense. But this is the best situation for Jimmy because there were no other legit trade partners. At least they didn't give up. They weren't going to give up enough assets or enticing assets for the 49ers to strike a deal. So essentially there was no deal. So, you know, Jimmy, hey, I'll take a pay cut. There's a possible chance that he will play because, hey, injuries happen. So, and I think he knows the system. Hey, I'm sure he loves living in the Bay Area with the amount of money he makes, you know. So, hey, it's like you said, it's a win-win for Jimmy, and we get a third round comp pick. That's pretty good. We've done pretty well in the draft with our day 2, day 2, day 3 picks. So
it'll probably just be another running back, but
exactly. I know, right? Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully the Niners, Shanahan learned their lesson, man. We don't need to.
I don't. Shanahan is a very stubborn man.